According to an almost decade-long study published in Sports Health in 2015, this is a journal peer-reviewed by primary care physicians, athletic trainers, surgeons, and more. 7% of deaths among collegiate athletes were suicides. Males accounted for a 3.6 times more likelihood to commit these suicides, and this study encompassed almost 3.8 million athletes over the life of it. Disturbed by this, I decided to do my own study, right? And here's what I found if these percentages from Sports Health hold true. As of this time last year, April 2020, the NCAA's website says that there are 8.5 million athletes in high school and college combined. And let's just say in my study, everyone dies. At 7%, that's 595,000 suicides. Males account for 1.35 of that 595,000, so we can do a little bit of math here. And you find that there's 441,000 young men. Do a little bit more math, and you find your 154,000 young women. But wait, there's more. Using the incidence rates from Sports Health, we find that 1.22 of those suicides are committed by African American athletes. That's almost 488,000 young men and women that look like me. We can throw a little cherry on top of this, and we find that 2.25 of those suicides are committed by football players. That's over 264,000 football players. In my study, if everybody dies. I've played football since I was about 5 or 6 years old. But those are just numbers, right? And we can get lost in the quantifications of these studies all day. So let's take a step back here. I'm Malik Mayweather. I was pronounced dead at birth. I reaped the benefits of being affluent and homeless, all the while playing 2, even 3 sports at times. I excelled at catching footballs, baseballs, running, jumping. But what I was best at was hiding my anxiety and depression from my friends and family while winning championships and being an A student. And although I've never wanted to hurt myself, I do have a friend I want to tell you about. His name is Bill. I'm not laughing because his name is Bill. Well, I am. It's an old name. I don't want a legion of Bills attacking me after this TED Talk, so no offense. I mean, Bill's an old name. But I'm going to tell you about Bill, nonetheless, because Bill, like myself, was an athlete as well. But see, Bill used to wonder what it might be like to fall off of a balcony and essentially the face of the earth. So here's Bill's plight. Bill was the one in his family. He had to make it. Everyone followed his career, doing high school, college, had good grades, gorgeous girlfriend, respect of his peers, but he never felt validated. Validated. Because you see, the goal for Bill was not to be where he was, it was to be where he wanted to be. And much like any of us who've ever had to strive for something, to achieve something, Bill couldn't see how green the grass was under his feet at times. His grandmother used to be the one to help him with that, but she passed away during his first semester, his freshman year of high school, 12 days after his birthday, in fact. So you see, this plight was not something that just fell out of the sky for Bill. It developed over time to have him to the point where he'd think about what it might be like to fall off of a balcony. So he kept stuff in. But this was dangerous because you see, essentially Bill was like a car with a clogged exhaust pipe. And yeah, you can turn it on, might even go forward, but you stay in it long enough, you get carbon monoxide poisoning. So Bill had to figure out why he wanted to be in this car. And he found that it was peace there. It was full of the cheers and the exceeding of expectations and perceptions that others put on his abilities. But you see, this was a dependency, this relationship between everybody else's perceptions of him, his abilities, and all that should have came from within. But those things made Bill feel validated. I mean, he took so much pride in it that he did some things just to prove people wrong because they made him feel validated. But I'm going to tell you what Bill did to break this cycle. And yes, I have his permission, trust me. Bill found his passion. Much like the little girl in the picture, passion isn't always apparent when looking at people from the outside. But it's very apparent when they're doing whatever that thing is they're passionate about. Bill was passionate about helping people, so he got into coaching. And can we all agree how instrumental a good coach is? The ones that are the best are the ones that are really passionate and care about the impact they have on others' lives. A quote from the Bible says, "Yet wisdom is proved right by all of its results." I think Bill found some wisdom about himself through his passion, and the results were evident by the impact he had on those people's lives. Innately, Bill sought out to get more exposure, had to look at life through a new lens. It didn't necessarily have to be coaching at this point, just had to fit his skill set. Remember, I said Bill did a lot of things just to prove people wrong. And I mean, hey, if you're going to prove people wrong, you got to be good at whatever it is that thing that they think you can't do is. So he sought out to be in those environments that would allow him to explore that. And he found really quickly that doing things in environments you're not familiar with isn't really easy. So he had to become resilient in a new way that was different from pushing through sprints on a conditioning test or reps in the weight room. He also found that when you help people, more oftentimes than not, they'll stand with you. But now when you possess what Bill had, passion, resilience, he had people standing in total solidarity with him to drive home this pursuit, this passion of helping people. And these interactions and relationships led to more and more opportunities. And yes, it was a lot of work for Bill, and he has the athlete mentality, work till you drop. And he had to alter that some because he looked back at the end of the day and realized he's only eating one time trying to complete a task or 10. But he also found even with this alteration, he had plenty of chances to cultivate these opportunities, and more came. So now Bill had nothing to do but be like a tree planted by the river of opportunities that were now flowing to him and produce fruit to nurture the environment that he was in. And now Bill may still wonder what it'll be like to fall off a balcony. But now he knows how to fly and pull from within, so he never feels lost. And we see what are his lessons, not failures, and his successes. I don't know if they can zoom in on the back of this jacket and focus, but the name on the back of it is Lil Bill. It's been a long time since I had this on. I am Malik Mayweather, Bill to some. And I'm not going to take too much more of your time because they won't allow me to anyway. But I think it's right you know I've given a lot of mine over the years for sheer entertainment value. And no, I don't regret it because it landed me here. I played football at the University of Miami between the years of 2013 and 2017, but I left here for a year and a half during that stint, and I ended up here. Middle of nowhere, Scuba, Mississippi. Yeah, I know, I never thought I'd be anywhere doing a TED Talk, but I never thought I'd be anywhere talking about scuba again. That's downtown, by the way. But it's home to the first 2 seasons of Last Chance U. You can catch me on the first one, trying to avoid the camera, which I have to say is a show of improvement today because there's 3, 4, 5, 6 rolling in here or something, and I'm not hiding from any of them. But those guys even got me when I was a little less mobile after I had broken my ankle. But that's where this started, this development. From my lowest moments, 2014, in Scuba, Mississippi, to my second lowest moment of not being able to realize a dream of playing a sport professionally, to a higher moment here today, where I've been painstakingly honest about how I got to this position and what I went through mentally. Outside of my identity, I think some people knew who it was. If I fooled you, I guess I did well. But painstakingly honest nonetheless. Although I went here, University of Miami, for undergrad, and even finished my MHA, Master's in Health Administration, in December, and I'll be helping people stay healthy in a hospital setting. I also went through life and got a firsthand experience at all the things that I talked about here today. Athletes, seen as some of the most physically healthy people in the world, but mentally in shambles. I also want to help them. Those that may never see a hospital because suicidal thoughts and depression aren't as tangible as a broken foot or broken fingers. I hope you can see that I have an enlarged heart, proverbial, of course, for those that are seen as strong but have never felt more alone. Why? Because every number from the beginning of this presentation, sports health or my study, represent a person, a death that is preventable. All I'm proposing is that each and every one of you, myself included, use this framework and become more of a person together. God bless.